it's Kris.
And I'm Wyatt Elliott from Notebook Entertainment.
And you're watching Horrorland News. Alright, so we were off last week for Mother's Day. And a lot of news exploded in the meantime, so we're going to bring you the highlights the best we can.
Yeah, so this might be a bigger show than normal, but
right. Stick with us.
But we'll see. We did some editing.
Yeah. Well, he did.
Yeah.
So coming up on Notebook TV this week, on Wednesday, as usual, we have Thanks We Hate It, where we're continuing our countdown of the decades with Worst Horror of the 70s.
Ooh.
Yep. Getting down there, guys.
There's some bad
There's
70s.
some really bad 70s movies.
And you know what? There's some good bad 70s.
There really are. That's the problem with doing these, is that when we consult lists of, worst of the decades and stuff for our research, there's so many bad movies on there that I'm like, oh no, that's not going on. I love that movie. I can't say that I hate it, because I don't.
And I don't want to spoil anything, but I do know for a fact that one of her selections are movies that most people say are good.
Yeah.
And I agree with her.
I swung big.
Yep.
So Friday, we're going to have our review this for the new Firestarter, but we're going to kind of look at Firestarter as a whole.
Yeah.
We rewatched the old one with Drew Barrymore. Still pretty much holds up. Mm-hmm. There is one part that really kind of irks me in the plot point, but we'll get to that when we talk about it.
Yeah. She's got things to say.
Yeah, I don't like when things don't add up properly. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's just one plot point that I'm sticking on in that movie. We'll see if they fix it. We haven't watched the new one yet. We're going to watch the new one. I'm rereading the book. Yep. So that, because it's been, years since I've read the book, so I'm rereading the book so that way we can give you full Firestarter analysis. All right, so let's move on and get on to TV Roundup.
No TV and no beer make Homer something. All
right, so my favorite news for TV Roundup for Chucky Season 2, which is on Sci-Fi, if you don't know. And USA. Devin Sawa's coming back. You're like, okay, how? Because he had two characters in season 1 and they both died.
Because just happened to him, right?
Triplets? I don't know. But they say it's a whole new character, so he's not coming back as like a zombie or anything. But I'm very excited because
clone.
I will never say no to Devin Sawa.
Right. No, I'm all for him coming back. He did great in it, and he does
great.
I just don't understand how, but I also trust him.
He's a new character, and look at it this way: they have characters in this. It's already set up in this series that characters play multiple roles.
True.
You've got Jennifer Tilly playing Jennifer Tilly as well as Tiffany Valentine, and then now that with the TV series, you've got Fiona Dorff playing both Nika and young Charles Lee Ray.
True.
So they've already set up that characters can be more than one character in this series.
Maybe he's playing himself. That would be awesome. I think, actually, like a version of himself.
Me.
Like a fictional version of
right.
himself.
I hope he does it the way James Van Der Beek did it.
Since you moved here from Indiana, men have just fallen at your feet, but not this time. Not my James.
That's right. Don't forget to vote for me on Dancing with the Stars.
Loved Dawson's Creek. Hated Dawson Leary. Hated him. It should have been called Everybody But Dawson's Creek. I hated him so much.
Hates Dawson.
But then I saw Don't Trust the Beat Apartment 23. Fell in love with him.
Beak jeans. Put your cheeks in a beak. Right?
Holy mother! Damn it, those are tight. Doesn't that hurt?
So much. Yeah.
I already love Devin Sawa, so whatever they do will be fine.
Yeah. He'll do good.
So moving on, last summer, American Horror Story released American Horror Stories.
Yeah, the shorts.
They're doing it again this year. It's returning to FX on Hulu. July 21st is when it's set to premiere. I only liked a couple episodes from season 1.
It wasn't great, but the ones that I saw, I liked a couple of them, and I thought that some of them had potential.
Right.
I like anthologies, so, I'm always down for that, but with anthologies, it's very hit or miss, too, because it's kind of like, here's a bunch of ideas, and see what sticks,
And some of them did from season 1, and some of them did not.
The one that sticks out to me the most when I think of American Horror Stories was the drive-in theater one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
I really like that one, and that one's based on, an urban legend and all that, so.
But that was fun.
So yeah, that's coming back again, like I said, July 21st, so check it out, FX on Hulu. If they release an actual trailer, because all they released was I saw a tweet from American Horror Story. So if they release a trailer, we'll let you know, but...
Probably next month, I'm guessing, if it comes out in July.
Probably. So, might show up in our trailer park next. All right. So, last story for TV Roundup. For those of you who are fans, for those of you who may not know, there's this kind of fun horror comedy show called What We Do in the Shadows. It's based off a movie from 2014, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really funny. I've watched a few episodes. I haven't gotten all the way through all 3 seasons that are out yet. But I intend to, because I really like it.
I like Taika Waititi's humor a lot. And I think, I've seen a few episodes as well. I haven't watched the full series, binged it or anything yet. But I will for sure, because it is funny. And I do like... And he's got a new show out about pirates that I haven't checked out yet. So, but I hear that's good too.
I'm going to watch that one too. But that's not horror, so...
No.
So again, this series based on the 2014 movie by Jermaine Clement and Taika Waititi. And it's led by showrunners Paul Sims and Stephanie Robinson. So they're the people who run the show.
Nice.
Storyline, and for those who don't know, storyline follows vampire roommates Nandor the Relentless, Nadia, Laszlo, and Colin as they navigate the modern world of Staten Island with the help of their human familiar Guillermo.
Nice. Yeah.
And this show has 10 Emmy noms, so it's catching attention. So let's start rewarding horror shows and keep watching them if they're good. And this one is good. All right, so let's move on to trailer part. First one we're going to talk about is amazing. So it's called Unhuman.
Unhuman. Yeah.
Unhuman. Because Inhuman never... We've been talking about Marvel a lot for the past few days. So.
And I was waiting for that. That's why I was waiting to fix it. I'm like, no, it's
Unhuman.
Yeah.
And it's from Blumhouse and Epix. It's starring Brienne Ju from the Amazon series I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yep.
I know not a lot of people watched it. We did. We loved it. She was awesome in it.
I clearly watched that show because I recognized her immediately.
Right.
Like, don't know her name is, but I recognized her immediately.
And then Drew, also starring Drew Sheed, the curly-haired creepy kid from Halloween 2018. Yeah. So, what is Unhuman about? The story of a high school field trip gone bloody awry. 7 misfit students must band together against a growing gang of unhuman savages. Ooh. The group's trust in each other is tested to the limit in a brutal, horrifying fight to survive, and they must take down the murderous zombie creatures before they kill each other first.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like they're zombies technically. Like
no.
They're not, they say in the trailer they're not undead. It reminds me of like the Crazies or
yeah,
something.
like the bus crashes in the beginning of the trailer, and then there's like an intercom that comes on and is like, hey, the U.S. is under attack from chemical warfare or some shit like
and you
that.
see like some smoke engulfing them, and then there's creatures I think in it maybe?
Yeah, then like hands start hitting the bus windows and shit.
But
it looks so good.
It does. It looks fun. It looks really fun.
Yeah, it
like
does.
It's just a comedic, remind me of the feel when we watched Black Friday.
Right, yeah. Black Friday with Devin Sawa was fucking amazing.
It has that comedic horror feel to it from the trailer. And who knows, I could be wrong, but that's what I thought.
I think it looks amazing. And we're definitely going to rent it. We'll probably do a review this on it because I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on from the really fun to the kind of Resident Evil released their trailer for their new series on Netflix.
I don't know, like, it looks like they're just taking a whole new story and moving forward with it that takes place in the universe, because it takes place a little bit in the future.
Yep.
It's about them running away from Raccoon City, it looks like.
Yep.
So, I don't know. They didn't really show much. It could be cool.
Well, here's the official synopsis.
Okay.
So, set in the year 2036, 14 years after a deadly virus caused a global apocalypse, Jade Wesker fights for survival in a world overrun by the bloodthirsty, infected, and insane creatures. In this absolute carnage, Jade is haunted by her past in New Raccoon City, by her father's chilling connections to the Umbrella Corporation, but mostly by what happened to her sister, Billy.
I don't know. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I give anything zombies a chance. I like zombies.
I mean, they have to make a Resident Evil live action right sometime, right?
Hey, it may not go with your little video games, but I like the first Resident Evil movie.
Fine, fair.
This begins streaming July 14th on Netflix. Alright, so let's move on to news. So, the big news that everyone is talking about this week, Kirby is returning to Scream. I'm very excited for this.
You guys spoke up.
Right.
And
fans win!
Yeah.
So, Hayden Panettiere is returning. We've been wanting her back since Scream 4 because no body, no death.
That's right. That is right. That's the rule. If you don't see the body, they ain't dead. I don't care what movie you're watching.
Right. There's no other word on this yet because they're keeping the movie pretty closely under wraps. Yeah. We know the basic plot continues with the 4 survivors of the last movie as they leave Woodsboro behind and start a fresh chapter. We do know that Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox are signed on, so at some point they're in it. I hope they die and just they killed Dewey, so I just get rid of all of the old guard, and if you're gonna give it to the new ones, just give it to the new ones then. Let Kirby lead the new cast on, because I didn't like anyone but the Tara. Tara's the only one I liked in the new cast.
My prediction is that they're gonna kill one of them and then keep the other one for the last one. Probably Courtney Cox.
Yeah, they're probably.
Watch.
Yeah, because Gail's not gonna be the last woman standing. It's gonna be Neve or Sydney. It's gonna be.
Yeah, although I don't know, Sydney was the one that held out before she signed on this one, so she was the one who was publicly said, "We'll see what the script looks like." So I don't know if she was happy with the last one. Honestly,
I wasn't.
But by the way, her tone in the interview,
I know so many people loved it, and I'm glad that I have seen people agree with me because I thought I was going crazy, and I'm like, maybe it is a good movie, and I'm just, stupid. But no, I've seen other people who are like, what is wrong with everybody? I'm like, thank you. All right, so moving on from Scream news, because there's always Scream news, it seems lately.
Seems like it, right.
Blumhouse and Peacock have revealed photos from their new horror They/Them, but it's they and then the /them, so it looks like pronouns. I think it's a really clever title, and a lot of people online think that it's a really clever title. They're jiving with it. So
sure.
The movie takes place at an LGBTQ conversion therapy camp, which that's scary enough in itself. Follows a group of LGBTQ teens attending the camp led by Owen Whistler, played by Kevin Bacon. His wife Cora, played by Carrie Preston, and another administrator, Molly, played by Anna Klumsky. I love Anna Klumsky.
Nice.
Ever since New Girl, I love her. I love her. As the camp's methods become increasingly more psychologically unsettling, the campers must work together to protect themselves. But when an unidentified axe murderer starts claiming victims, things get even more dangerous. So it's psychological and slasher, it seems like.
Well, horror's always had things to say about current events.
Sure
and
does.
Everything. So I think it's probably going to be one of those, and it's probably going to be right. So
right. No, I'm excited. I love Kevin Bacon in horror. I think he does great in horror.
Mm-hmm. It could also, it could also be one of those horror movies that's a little too real. So we'll see what happens.
That it could be like, it hurts.
See what happens.
So it's a directorial debut of John Logan, who also wrote the script, and his claim to fame, which is why I like him, is he created Penny Dreadful.
Oh,
please watch that show if you haven't.
Very nice.
It was on Showtime. I don't know where you can find it now. It was on Netflix for a while, but please watch Penny Dreadful. It's awesome. It's available. So They/Them will be available on Peacock August 5th, 2022. I'm sure we'll get a trailer before then.
Oh, yeah.
So we will share it here once it releases.
And we'll probably review it as well when it comes out. So.
Abso-freaking-ly. All right, so moving on to our next story. Principal photography has begun for a horror comedy movie, Totally Killer. This sounds really interesting, guys. Okay, so it's from Prime Video and Blumhouse Television. It's starring Kiernan Shipka from Chilling Adventures of Sabrina and Mad Men, Olivia Holt, who did Cruel Summer, Julie Bowen from Modern Family, and Randall Park from the MCU, Fresh Off the Boat, and The Office.
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm Jim. We've been working together for 12 years. Weird joke, Dwight.
You're not Jim. Jim's not Asian.
You seriously never noticed? Hey, hats off to you for not seeing race.
Yes, he was Jim.
He was Jim. I don't know why everyone's like, Oh, Jim's finally in the... Jim's been in the MCU.
Jim's been in the MCU. Yeah, sure has.
Oh my god, I love that joke. Everybody told that joke. So, this film follows Jamie, whose mom, Pam, is terrorized by the resurgence of the Sweet 16 killer, a masked maniac that slaughtered a group of teenage girls in the 80s. With the help of her friend Amelia, she travels back in time to 1987 and teams up with the teen version of her mom to try and stop the killer.
Oh, wow. That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah. So this is just first looks. There's no trailer. There's no nothing to go with it. No release date even, because they're probably still filming.
Right. No, that's kind of a cool idea. It's got...
time-traveling horror.
Right. It's got hints of Back to the Future and, like, Happy Death Day and everything in it. Like, damn, all right.
It sounds really fun.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, it sounds really fun.
I will watch that.
So again, we'll keep you updated as information is released. If a trailer gets released, release date, all of that, we'll keep you updated. All right, so moving on, The Omen is getting a prequel from 20th Century Studios.
Prequel?
Yeah, it's called The First Omen.
Wait.
I didn't like the original Omen, so I don't know.
How do you have a prequel from a story about the devil being born? Like,
well, yeah.
I don't understand.
Well, yeah.
I don't understand this. Was it like attempt number one?
Yeah, it was the attempt before Damien.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
All right.
That's all we know so far. So our Kasha Stevenson, who's from Channel Zero and Legion, she's directing and rewriting the script that had been floating around with her creative partner, Tim Smith. So apparently there's a script floating around. Okay. They're rewriting it. No idea if it's going to be theatrical or streaming. That's all they released is this is happening, guys.
Okay. I mean, I'm not an Omen fan either. I don't think I ever even watched the remake.
It was the exact same freaking movie, only Julia Stiles was in it. It was crazy.
Like, I've seen the side-by-sides of her falling out the window, and it looks exactly the same. Yep. But I don't think I ever watched it. But, I don't know, fine, you know. I know there's fans of movies like this and stuff.
The religious horror's never been my thing.
No, I don't think it really has.
Probably because I was forced to go to Catholic school, so I've got issues. I got a lot of issues.
But let's see, you know, maybe this is going to have a revolution. Maybe this will rejuvenate the franchise.
Maybe this will be the good one.
Because they had, like, in the original timeline, there's like 4?
I don't even know. I watched 1, 2, and then the reboot. That's all I've seen of The Omen. That's all I could do.
I remember when I was a kid, I couldn't watch horror movies, but if they were on TV, and I remember they made a TV version of The Omen 4, or not a TV version.
I think there was even a TV movie, yeah.
Yeah, it was made for TV, and it was on Fox. I remember watching that one. That's all.
And you'll never get that time back.
No. I could have been probably playing with my G.I. Joes.
Right. Okay, so moving on again, because again, we were off for 2 weeks, guys, so we got a lot to talk about.
There's a lot, which means we should probably let the news happen and talk less, but go ahead.
No. Alright, so, the new Toxic Avenger movie has gotten its R rating.
Okay.
Yep, because trauma films need to be R-rated.
Well, yeah, it has to be.
It has to be, or it doesn't work.
Now, this is produced outside of trauma, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a contemporary reimagining of Trauma Entertainment's successful 1984 low-budget comedy hit. The Toxic Avenger is steeped in environmental themes and subverts the superhero genre in the vein of Deadpool. When a struggling everyman is pushed into a vat of toxic waste, he is transformed into a mutant freak who must go from shunned outcast to underdog hero as he races to save his son, his friends, and his community from the forces of corruption and greed.
The Toxic Avenger. The first superhero born out of nuclear waste.
Holy shit!
Peter Dinklage is in this.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep, starring Elijah Wood.
Oh, I didn't know he was
Julia Davis, Taylor Page, Kevin Bacon, Peter Dinklage, and Jacob Tremblay.
Okay, there's a bigger... Okay. Peter Dinklage, from what I understand, is playing Toxic.
That
is...
interesting.
I can't believe he even signed on for that. But it tells me the script must be really amazing.
Right.
Or he just wanted to have a lot of fun.
I don't know what it was, but it saved my life.
All right, everybody, drop your tacos or I'll blow your brains out.
Maybe he's doing the Daniel Radcliffe thing. He's like, okay, well, I just did Game of Thrones, which got my name everywhere, so now I can go do weird shit.
town. Look out!
I don't know. I think this is great. I like the original Toxic Avenger. When I was younger, they came out with they reimagined it as a Turtles ripoff, and they had a cartoon, and it was called the Toxic Crusaders.
Toxic Crusaders, Toxic Crusaders. I had no friends, no girls that hugged me till I got radioactive ugly. Toxic Crusaders, Toxic Crusaders.
And I had the action figure. And so I remember I saw that first, then I saw the movie, and I don't know it was because of that I liked the movie, but I did. It's cheesy, it's silly, it's
in the best
product
way.
of its time. But yeah, it had messages and everything even back then.
It had shit to say.
So, and yeah, I would definitely want to watch this, for sure.
And so the new one's directed by Macon Blair. So we don't have any release dates, no trailers or anything yet. They're just announcing, hey, we got our R rating. Yes.
Right. So it's done production.
Yeah, it must be done. So maybe just a little bit of post left. I don't know.
Right. So maybe this year then.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. All right, so here's my favorite story. Sci-Fi Channel is bringing us Bring It On, Cheer or Die. And yes, it will be part of the Bring It On series.
It is.
It's the 7th installment of the series. But the first one's the classic that I adore. I just adore that movie so much. I made him watch it.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
I liked it so much.
I enjoyed it.
So this one is going to be directed by Amy Lamb, and it's starring Missy Pyle, who I love, Carrie Metters, and Tara Scoveby, which I don't know either of them, but I'm sure they're fantastic.
Is this a movie or a series?
I believe it's a movie. It's going to be a TV movie. Tony Gonzalez is returning as choreography. He was choreographer for the other movies. And so here's the basic synopsis that they gave us. It follows a cheer squad as they practice their routines overnight in an abandoned school during Halloween weekend where one by one the teens fall victim to a deranged assailant.
Oh, well, I mean, I remember when we talked about this when it first got announced, and we had this. I was very excited. I had the same baffled, but hey, you got where else can they go with the genre with the series? Really,
space.
So
when in doubt, go to space.
That'll be next.
I would watch Bring It On in space so hard, you guys. You don't even know.
Oh my god, that's funny.
So our final story is about Darkman.
From director Sam Raimi. Darkman.
Oh, yeah. I did read about that.
Yeah.
I am so excited about this.
So in an interview with The Wrap, Sam Raimi said he's looking to bring back his dark superhero Darkman, and Liam Neeson has expressed interest in returning for the role.
I am super excited. I love Dark. Did you ever see Darkman?
Mm-hmm.
I love Darkman.
I did not see the sequels because Sam Raimi wasn't involved and it wasn't Liam Neeson.
They're awful. I saw the second one. I refused to watch the third one. They're just direct-to-videos. They're awful. They bring back the only guy that returns in it, actor-wise, is the villain, and he died in a helicopter accident in the first one, so it makes no sense.
Right.
The first one's a classic. I've watched it probably 2 or 3 years ago. It holds up. Probably because I just love it, but no, its effects are kind of dated.
So I would love to see a remake.
I
think this one is due for a remake. Usually they're like, oh, they're remaking that, but I think this would be a good remake.
Now, is this a remake or a sequel he wants to do?
I think it's a remake. Well, no, it's a sequel. Okay.
It's a sequel. Okay.
Because yes, here's his quote.
Okay.
He said, yes, Universal is talking about a Darkman sequel. There's a producer attached. I haven't heard the story yet or gone into it. I've been so busy with Doctor Strange, but I think it's cool. So we don't know if he's even going to be involved.
Oh, don't do it without him. Please don't do it without him.
That's what I'm saying.
Please.
Like, wait for his schedule to clear and have him do it.
Yeah, because Darkman, it's... If you didn't know Sam Raimi, it's a very Sam Raimi film. Like, when I rewatched it, I'm like, oh, that's Spider-Man influences, and now I see Doctor Strange. It's like, it really is the movie that introduced me to Sam Raimi. So I think that's why I love it so much. Like, I remember when I went back and watched Evil Dead and I saw Me in Darkness, I'm like, this is it's so cool. He's such a badass, dark horror superhero. Mm-hmm. The last line has always stuck with me.
Dropping me, it's not really an option for you. It's not something you can live with.
I'm learning to live with a lot of things.
So yeah, so we're rooting for this. We will bring you updates as they're released. But yeah, so far it's just rumors that Sam Raimi is passing on, maybe because he does want it to get done.
And you know what? I'm thrilled just to have rumors because it's getting people talking about Darkman.
Exactly. So they'll go back and watch it and they'll be like, yeah, remake this. And then maybe they will because fans have power, apparently.
It is such a cool movie. And 1990, man. It's old now, I guess.
I know.
But it's really good.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be like a sequel. Maybe he'd be passing the Darkman mantle down to his son or something.
I guess
he's still a badass.
Right.
Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. With Liam Neeson being this badass now, like when he played that, it was like one of his first Hollywood roles. It was before Schindler's List.
All right, so let's move on to Indie Film Spotlight.
My advice to young filmmakers, make a movie every week. Make films, no matter what anybody says, and you'll be a filmmaker.
Because Sam Raimi's awesome.
He is awesome.
All right, so we're talking about actually 2 shorts today because they're both about like 3 minutes long, but they go together. And so it's called Selfie and Selfie 2. So they're both from the ACM official YouTube channel, which I think we featured them before. Writer, director, DP, and editor was Alex Magana. Co-writer Jed Bryan. The girlfriend character is played by Katie Ford. The boyfriend character is played by Riley Introcaso. And the villain, and as well as the brother character, was played by Rory Ross.
I had a feeling. I mean, I would have done that too.
Right.
Just easy, you know.
Yeah, just put this mask on, dude. So the first one, Selfie, is told from her point of view, the story, and then we see her interacting with her boyfriend through her phone. Well, Selfie 2 is his side of it as he's interacting with her, and I love that.
That's what sold me on this because watching the first one, it was well done. I liked it, but it reminded me of a movie we featured on here a few months ago.
Yeah.
But then when she sent me the second one, I watched that, and I love that it interconnects. And I like the way they even released them separately. In our other channel with the FMLs, we have done lots of episodes like that. We call them He Said, She Said.
Yep.
And I love that. It was brilliant. It was done well. It followed it perfectly, and it gave you a new insight on what he was saying.
Right.
You know, because on her side, it starts out with, what are you wearing? But then you see his side, she's saying, I don't want to go out because I'm in my comfy clothes.
Right,
so then he's like, well, what are you wearing?
Exactly.
You know?
So it makes more sense.
Yes.
Yeah, it fleshes out the whole story. So taken together, it tells one very cohesive story. And I very much like it.
I liked it a lot. And it is well done. Like, you're not going to see a lot of gore or anything in this. It's a YouTube movie, but... and the mask is just something bought off the... Well, we've done that. That's totally fine.
Yeah, we've been there.
Not knocking that at all. But the editing was really good.
Yes.
She's a better actor than he is.
Yes.
But he does good. You know, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, she did really well. I just love the technology where they're like, okay, we've got all this new technology, let's make it scary.
and I do love this idea, and I'm sure that some big movie will eventually do it. But or maybe they shouldn't, because I like these indie films that have done it.
Right.
You know, apps are a thing that didn't exist 10, 20 years ago. So now these are
Less
new
than
things.
That, probably.
Right. These are things that you can write, and I do like it. I like seeing that people are, like you said, are taking the new technology and adapting it to horror. It's funny because now with virtual reality becoming a thing, like, where's the new Lawnmower Man, guys?
Freddy 3, where he's in the video game, they could do it way better.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or remake Stay Alive. I like Stay Alive, but I think now with better graphics and stuff, they could do that better.
There's so many, and that's the thing, horror's always like, oh, that's a new thing, you know, because they've had video game horrors for a long time. And so, as you said, as the technology changes and the graphics get better, they should update some of these movies. Look at Tron. It finally got an update after how many years? Because the first one was like, that's not really relatable anymore.
I didn't see the new one.
It wasn't.
I didn't like the first one.
I hate the first one. I was bored with it as a kid. And the second one it looks cool.
That's all it's got going for it. But like I said, there's nothing new in Selfie and Selfie 2 because we featured another indie film months ago that had this similar thing where she's looking in the phone and only through the phone can they see that something's coming.
Yeah.
So and it's not even a new trope in horror that, you know, there's mirrors and all kinds of, yeah, there's always ways to find someone's behind you. But I think it was clever that they broke it up into two parts. And I like the storytelling, and I just want to encourage people to look. These are 3 minutes apiece. Like,
oh sure, yeah.
If you've got an idea, put it down on paper, get your friends together, film it, put it out there.
Yeah, because as I've said on this show many times before, is that it's not about whether the idea, no one's done the idea before. It's about how you execute it. So, one, they may not have even known about the other independent film.
Right.
Two, they did something different with it. So you can take this exact same idea and go, but wait a minute, what if we did it this way? And that's a new idea. Mm-hmm. So most of these horror movies we talk about here on the news are not new ideas. You know, they're recycled, there are other things, they're reimagined, whatever.
They call it influences.
Exactly. There's no new idea under the sun. So don't let that hold you back.
Yep, please. Go out, make movies, make independent films, put them out there. Some people are probably going to be mean about it. Some people are going to love it. That's just life.
You got it. Yeah, that's what you get by putting yourself out there. And you know what? Fine. That makes you a brave person. So.
Yep. All right. So again, Selfie 2 on the ACM official YouTube channel. Check them out. They've got a bunch of stuff on their YouTube channel. Looks like they feature all kinds of different movies. Definitely give them a look.
Yeah, for sure. It's very clever.
Yeah. So that's it for the news today. If you have any comments for any future news stories you'd like us to see, or if you'd like us to look up something we've already, reported on.
An update, yeah.
If you need any updates, let us know in the comments, and I'll do my best to take care of that for you.
See if there's any.
Make sure you like and subscribe so you get all videos for our awesome channel. And
I think that's
ring the bell.
Don't forget to ring the bell so you get notifications because sometimes we watch movies and we want to review this and we will put it out. So stay tuned. Our Firestarter review, of course, is coming out later. And I think I've said enough today, so I'm going to shut up now.
All right. Have a good night, good fight.
Chloe, there's no need to be embarrassed about being replicated in other media formats. I've got an entire room dedicated to various James Van Der Beek action figures. Who do I want to play with today?